Hello, everyone. Just a little disclaimer. I don't know what's wrong with Studio A, but this episode of Breaking the Ice is gonna be missing, I want to say, the first 8 minutes, as well as, a couple more, later on, because something is wrong with two of the mics. Host mic and the first mic, guest one, having issues. So when I was recording on Audacity this episode, it's quite literally unbearably staticky. So I just cut those parts of the episode out, and you're going to be left with what we have remaining. So hope you enjoy.
Way past out of prime Jonathan Quick, and let's just say,
Johnny Quick.
Let's just
not
say,
quick anymore.
Not quick anymore.
not quick anymore.
And let's just say maybe, and this is being nice, slightly below average backup goaltender Cal Peterson. When that's your goaltending, when that's your goaltending tandem there, I know you got guys still like Anze Kopitar still putting up numbers. You're able to go get a guy like Kevin Fiala. When you got good skaters and you're able to skate with those teams, when that's what's going to be in your net for an 82 game season, it's not going to work out.
Look at the Oilers. Look at the Oilers. Perfect example. They got the skaters. They for sure got the skaters, but
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Koskinen last year and Jack Campbell, he could do better. Now at the bottom of that division, there's been some flipping too. The Canucks are actually 4-2 in the past 2 weeks. They've picked it up a bit. The Sharks have fallen flat on their face. They've gone 2-6 since there. They're 8-18. But they're not doing much. Those two teams, Vancouver's picked it up, but they can make a run for the 5th spot in that division. It feels, and Anaheim's in the bottom. 1-6 in the past few weeks, and shout out the Rangers giving the Ducks their first regulation win in the whole season.
Love it, love it.
But that's how the West, that's how the Pacific stacks up right now.
Shout out that Erik Karlsson North run too. That's
Absolutely,
the one thing San Diego Sharks fans can hang their hat on.
San Jose Sharks fans, actually.
Is that what I said?
You said San Diego.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well. That will go on the blooper at the end of the semester.
Erik Karlsson, incredible play thus far.
Love it.
Now, before we move on, I'm going to pull up something here. It's going to be the players of the week. I noticed some key performers in these past couple weeks, and we're just going to point them out right now. I mean, I think you got to give Crosby, he's still in his prime. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, for sure. 35, still doing it. Still a top 10 player in the league. Still pretty much by the third he's got like 30 points right now through the first 24 games. He's still elite.
Jason Robertson is a hard candidate. Well, we'll get to Dallas, but I feel like out of the West, Matty, Burakovsky, been good for Seattle.
They're one of the more underrated pickups in the offseason. When you can get a guy like that to play with number one center, for his future, like a Matty Beniers, it's only
Beniers too. Beniers and Burakovsky have both been unreal for Seattle. That's why they've won 6 straight games. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been on a tear. And as far as Vancouver goes, Kuzmenko's been playing at another level right now. He was averaging 2 points a game just a few days ago. I don't know if he's kept it up, but he's been incredible. He's been absolutely incredible. And so if Vancouver holds on to where they're going, they could maybe move up to snag a wild card spot. It's possible.
They got one of the more underrated offenses in the league. They got Elias Pettersson playing at a career year with a point-per-game center right now. They got their captain, Bo Horvat, so far having 17
I had
goals.
Horvat in fantasy last year. I know. Absolutely.
They even got a guy like Quinn Hughes with a run of the power play, having 21 assists so far this year. Got to put a puck in the net, but that's not what he's known for. But when you have an offense like that, when you're able, like I've been saying this entire show, young teams that are able to skate with others will always stay in the race to an 82-game season. The thing that's going to come down to a team like Vancouver is, like I've been saying in the Pacific, when you got to go against guys like McDavid, you got to go against the Draisaitl, you got to go against a young team like Seattle with Matty Beniers, Burakovsky, and all this offensive talent in this division. You got to have goaltending. And if Vancouver can get some solid goaltending throughout the rest of this year, you could see them shoot up these rankings. Shoot up.
So your message to them as of right now is
Stop it. Get some help.
in the goaltending department.
Yes.
In the goaltending department, get
Love
some
the
help.
sound effects today.
Oh no, yeah. Last time I didn't have them because I didn't even know where they were. I'll be honest, I didn't know where they were, and now I have them. They're all right in front of me. I can go page up, page down. Let's go page up real quick. That's absolutely not the sound effects. All of them are in front of me here. So, moving on from the Pacific, let's head to the Central Division. Let's start with the top team. It's Dallas at the top, which honestly Winnipeg is the best team that comes. So Winnipeg will catch Dallas, but Dallas right now is at the top. Jason Robertson, unreal production thus far. Unreal. He scored 8 points the past week, 6 goals, 2 assists. Amazing pace. He's the reason they're winning these games at that clip. They're 4-3. They've been okay these past couple weeks. 4-3 could be better, but absolutely not bad. They're holding on to the top spot, but they're about to lose it because here come the Jets. Not the New York Jets, the Winnipeg Jets. They even put up a touchdown against the Blackhawks this past week. 7 goals in a game. In a singular game.
Love it.
Dallas has had Jamie Benn and Jason Robertson playing great. But you cannot shy away from the play of these players.
This is a certified static moment of the episode.
Not the best goaltender in the league, and he's coming over having a .930 save percentage for you. Like, they're a wagon. They're unstoppable. They're gonna get it rolling.
They're in third right now, but they'll easily jump to second. They're 4-2. They're 4-2 since our last showing, but the Jets are 5-2, and the Dallas is 4-3. So all those teams moving steadily ahead, and it just drops off after that because in fourth and fifth, Minnesota and Nashville. I mean, Minnesota's been the Leafs of the West.
Can we please help Kirill Kaprizov?
Kaprizov, man.
Can we please help him? Can Minnesota, can we please get some talent?
Yeah, they were
him?
10-11 and going into today, and 3-2, and so was Nashville. But they just got that win against the Devils, so they're going 4-2 since our last
Shout out
episode.
all our Devils fans.
Nashville now sitting at 11-11. They probably gained 2 points. Now they're probably in fourth, I assume. But the Preds and the Wild, Preds had their chance in 2017, 2016. What year was it? 29. Like what year were they in the Cup final? 17. They had their chance then, but the Penguins.
Oh, believe me, I know that one.
Yeah.
Believe me, I got that, baby.
Yeah, so trust me. Yeah, and the Blues.
Second of the back-to-back cups.
The only movement that's really been done in the Central since last episode, every team stayed in the same spot. It's really been the Blues. They had a crazy week. They cooled off, but they're 4-3 since our last episode. And that first week, they were playing insane hockey. Like Buchnevich, Jordan Kyrou. I watched them make this comeback against the Panthers. They were down by 3 goals, and they score 3 and then win the game in OT, and I was crushed. Like, Jordan Kyrou had 2 goals. Jordan Binnington, Pavel Buchnevich, like, those 3 guys were like, Binnington's a great goaltender. He was playing great. Only allowed 6 goals that whole week, and Buchnevich and Kyrou have been scoring nonstop. And the Blues team went hot, but then they cooled off slightly. So, they can even make a run. But as a wild card, I feel. I don't see them. I think the Jets take their spot from last year.
That's the thing with St. Louis. They have the top-end talent with guys like Kyrou, Ryan O'Reilly still there, Vladimir Tarasenko. But once you get into that third, fourth line, their bottom 6, you enter their second, third pairing in their D-core. Jordan Bing, he's nice, but he's not an elite.
He had a good week for sure, but then,
he's nice. He's not an elite goaltender. Once you get into starting to get into that area of their team, they're not gonna be able to hold up through an 82-game season. It's not. It ain't that cup year. What's that against Boston? It ain't that year.
Man, there's a Canucks power play, but okay. So yeah. So in the bottom of the Central now, the Blackhawks, the coldest team in the league by a mile. They have not won since we were in the studio.
Garbage.
0-6 in the past 2 weeks. They're 6-16 on the year.
They're garbage.
Yeah, they're garbage.
They're garbage. Like
the Jets scored 7 goals on them.
Call a spade a spade. Can we get Patrick Kane out of there?
Does he even want to go? Like, is that the thing where like he's
Please.
just like the guy that kind of stays?
But let's do it for his own right. Even if he wants to stay in Chicago, let's just get him out of there. Let's get him on a contender. Come on, I want to watch Patrick Kane in February and March. I don't want to watch talents like that getting buried on a Chicago team that can't even play at a point per game pace.
But we can't have nice things here, AJ. That's what you don't
We
understand.
can't, but it's all the trade rumors around Patty Kane. Just make it come to fruition. A guy like Jonathan Tays, he's the captain. He was the face of those teams. Let him stay in Chicago. Let him be the Blackhawk for life.
Yeah.
Let's let Kane get it. Let's get him out of there.
At least this is one good thing for that. Just because they're doing so bad, the team that shares an arena with Arizona State University and doesn't even have their own stadium,
Has more points than them. They have one more point than them,
but has more points than them.
Garbage. Absolutely. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Come on, like you're letting the team. Then they've won the one game since our last episode, which means they haven't even deserved to move up. Chicago's just been that bad that they've gone down.
That arena filled up more when they beat number 2. When Arizona State University beat number 2 Minnesota in college hockey than an Arizona Coyotes game did all year.
Panthers killed the power play, but also 100%. Like
just put that into perspective, and that team has more points than the Chicago Blackhawks.
let's see. I don't even know what this sound effect is. We're just gonna find out. Perfect. That was perfect for the situation right there, right?
That's just the spinning downfall.
Slide whistle. Yeah, exactly.
Brutal.
So that's where the Central stacks up right now. Dallas, Winnipeg, Colorado. I see it ending up being I see Colorado back at the top with the Jets staying at 2 and Dallas coming down to 3. The Blues probably getting in as a wild card.
Yeah, I would just flip Dallas and Winnipeg. With me personally,
I think Dallas is staying 2 and Winnipeg's going 3.
Yeah, let's say Hellebuck and Ottinger.
The Otter, man, the Otter.
What's it called? A little bit of a drop off. Hellebuck's a little bit better, but Ottinger's still an elite goaltender. Dallas is better talent in their top 6, and I think their decor's a little bit better. Even though Winnipeg is more sick.
But yeah, so far coldest team in the league right now, the Blackhawks, 0-6. Get it together, guys.
Garbage.
Get it together. Get it together.
I'm gonna keep calling you garbage until you prove to me.
Blackhawks right here. That's
Figure it out.
Listen. That the front office and on the court, off and on the ice.
Figure it out. We got once we hit the East, we have a few more teams. I'm gonna start trashing like that. Though.
Oh yeah, so don't even get it twisted. We slander all over the league here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
It's
we're
like a
hitting
show.
the most important division,
The Metro.
the Metro. Well, I'm an Atlantic Division kind of guy, but
I'm a
listen,
Metro guy.
it's okay because most of everyone in here is a Devils fan. We got some Rangers fans. AJ, you're a Penguins fan. We love the Metro. And from the area, we live in the Metro, so
We do live in the Metro.
it happens. The top of the Metropolitan, your New Jersey Devils, not yours, but WMSC's
Fraudulent.
New Jersey Devils, 6-1 since our last episode. So they're still going hot, but they did lose. The streak did end, and they just lost tonight to the Predators. But they're still atop the Metro. You got to give them the credit. Jack Hughes playing like a man out there. In Jersey.
He's playing like an absolute stud. An absolute stud. You see the potential finally paying off for that number 1 pick.
Yeah.
You finally started to see it. Even a guy like Nico Hischier, as much heat as he's taken from the New Jersey Devils fans over the last few years. And all we've been saying is slow down. They haven't been a good hockey team. A number 2 center's not going to be putting up that many points. Not going to be putting up that many points on a team that's playing at a 60, 70 point pace a year. Once they start getting good, once they start putting talent around them, he's a great talent. They have their 2 numbers. They have their 2 centers locked up for the future. Their decor is what's been the most surprising part of their team. Their decor has been incredible. You got the top of your number 1 defenseman, Dougie Hamilton. Everyone knows what he brings to the table. One of the best pure defensemen in hockey. Then my heart breaks with this one, John Marino. my heart breaks with this, and I hate that I'm complimenting the Devils so much. But don't worry, we're gonna switch up in a little bit. But John Marino, you hate to see it, but he's completely broken out here in New Jersey. He's finally Lindy Ruff's finally playing him in a way Mike Sullivan never did and never planned on doing. And they got guys that are just carrying the slack. And even a guy like Vanacek putting up over a 9.10.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that was coming? By the way, fraudulence, that's not going to keep. That's not going to stay.
He doesn't
That's
believe
not
in
gonna
it.
Stay.
Now,
No.
that's for everyone
No.
here on Breaking the Ice.
That's not going. Vanacek's not.
If-
he's not going to stay putting up a 9.23 the entire rest.
We don't have any of the Devil's supporting cast here to fight you on this one, so you know what I mean?
Don't worry, I'm not scared. Unless they come with some.
They're not here right now,
Don't
so
worry,
you know
don't
that's
worry.
that's sorry on them. Sorry
we'll
on them.
Oh, we'll hear about it in the group chat later, though. Don't worry about it.
If they are listening, absolutely, we will hear about it in the group chat.
We'll hear about it in the
You
group chat
can't
later.
give the Devils the bing bong though, because they're not part of New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know
So we're gonna move on. They're still the top of the Metro, and they're gonna stay there for a while, as the way it looks right now. But let's talk about the second place team in the Metro, the New York Islanders, still holding it down. Shades of 2021. This is for the Isles right now. New York's team at the moment.
Bing bong.
They're doing the job right now. Look at this Islanders team. Ilya Sorokin. Stud. Let's talk about his stats. There was a period there this past week, over a few days ago, he was 3-0, only allowing a goal and a half per game. He had only allowed 4 goals, 96 save percentage throughout that week. The reason they're winning these games. They're 4-3 in these past 2 weeks, sit at 15-9. I think they're staying. They're staying.
Yeah, I don't trust their skaters at all. Their number one scorer is a 31-year-old Brock Nelson with 11 goals. That's not going to get it done. But the reason why I believe in the team as a whole is they have, in my opinion, the best combo of goalies in the league.
Sorokin, Varlamov?
Yep. Varlamov's putting up a 9.16 this year.
Yeah, actually, that's the best goal.
As a backup goalie.
Absolutely
He'd be
the
number
best.
one. With those stats, he'd be the number one goalie on the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The best goaltending duo, I think.
I don't think it's close. Either.
Yeah, like legitimately, like that's what we call this.
Yeah, Woo Wee is right. I'm jealous.
That's a team
Incredible.
right there. Listen, it's all right though, because that as they're really good at like I think they're staying second, man. The Devils are at the top. The Isles have been doing a great job at second so far. Like they're just playing great hockey right now. Like, and where I think I see movement going to occur, the third place Carolina Hurricanes. They're in third, but they've had a rough 2 weeks. They've had a bad 2 weeks. They're 2-5. They're 2-5 in these past 2 weeks. They're gonna lose. They're losing that third spot.
Yeah. One of those wins too is to the Penguins. We don't got to talk.
That's who they're losing it to. The biggest movers in the entire NHL, moving up 3 spots in the Metropolitan.
Yes, sir.
From 7th to 4th. The Pittsburgh Penguins, with the win tonight, are 6-2 since these past 2 weeks have gone by. They're 12-12 right now. They're gonna catch they're catching the Canes. They're catching the Canes as of right now. They're taking third.
I can see it.
Give me your Penguin spiel. You got as many minutes as you want. Just what have you liked in these past 2 weeks in this hot streak from Crosby? Even Jari's been great.
That you hit it right on the head. You hit it right on the nail. Their number one line's been carrying them this year. You got that line of Sid, Gensel, Raquel has been absolutely unreal ever since the first week of the season. They're doing their job at the top of the lineup. Even though they literally have 38 points the last 11 games of the line combo. They have 38 points.
Well,
It's unreal. Then you got Jari after an absolute abysmal start to the year. One of the worst first months of a Penguins goalie I've ever seen. Terrible. He's now starting to pick it back up, and that's what you need. Which y'all can't see me, but big thumbs up for that.
yeah, he was that 2-game stretch there. He had a 2-game stretch of only allowing 2 goals, 97 save percentage.
The decor still worries me a little bit, especially now your number one D-man being Jeff Petrie because of unfortunate circumstances going on with Kris Letang. We wish you all the best.
We got to hit that real quick.
We wish you all the best in your health. We wish have a speed. We wish you all the best. Take as much time as you need, speedy recovery, and hopefully see you back on the ice soon. But this is the Kris Letang situation. With him? If y'all don't know, he had a stroke. He had his second stroke in his NHL career, and he's out indefinitely. It's a real scary situation. It's one of those to where it really puts into perspective how much life is what's your number one priority over sport and over your career. When I heard about it, it was one of those like jaw-dropping things, and I just hope he comes back healthy. You just care more about the man than you do the player, you know?
Absolutely. Like, I saw, like, it's his second. I saw he had a stroke, and I'm like, wow. But it's his second stroke in his career. Mm-hmm. It's not even the first. And so he's out indefinitely. This is probably the biggest news in the NHL right now because, you don't really see every day an athlete having a stroke.
Nevertheless,
like
too, and you hate to do this because you hate to speculate. I just hope it's not career ending.
And the thing is,
you hate to see a Hall of Fame D-man like that go out that way.
You look at it this way: he came back from the first one, played eight years before now, obviously having another one. But like, that's a long he beat it.
Guy's tough as nails.
Guy is tough as nails. Now he's out indefinitely, but the team says
he
said
he could be back. He said he could be back in a timely fashion.
No lasting effects. Like he'll be back on the ice soon. That's good news to hear because he had it back in.
It's the best news you can hear.
I was in seventh or sixth grade when the last one happened. That was January 2014. So a full 8.5 years ago, almost 9 years, and he missed 2 months. He missed 2 months, and it was a heart defect, I believe, is the what's causing these. But he's been good, almost 9 years, and now obviously it's a 17th season. This happened, so you wonder how much longer he can push the body, especially after something like that. Like his numbers are down because like last year he had like a Norris season, 7th in Norris voting, but he's still one of the best players on this team, and they'll need him if they're going to make some serious noise come playoff time. And how do you think? How much do you think he's got left in the tank? It's his 17th year in Pittsburgh.
I think he's got the duration of his contract.
How many years is that?
4.
4 more years.
They locked up that core with this free agency when they had Malkin, Letang, and all them and Rust on. They locked them up in a similar thing. So I think Letang's just going to ride it out. And they're all going to retire together.
Certainly a scary injury, but for Letang and for the Penguins,
all our prayers are with us, and we wish you the best. And
for Letang and for the Penguins, being the biggest movers, 5-2 through all this,
woo, woo.
This one's for y'all. That's where they are. They're catching the Canes. They're making the playoffs. I see it. The Canes have fallen off the earth right now. Pittsburgh's right on their tail. They're gonna make a splash here, and I'll just give you a nice little Canucks Panthers update. We're halfway through the first, a little more, and the Cats have only 5 shots, 6, mind you. Actually, I'm watching. Here's a nice play. Hornqvist, he was a former Penguin as well, right?
Yeah.
How do you miss Hornqvist?
Yeah.
You missed the guy? He's a 4th, 3rd liner with Florida, man.
He was just he was just that scrappy guy you needed.
Always standing in front of the net.
Yep.
He was good.
That guy you need.
2 years ago, he went crazy.
PK too. He was just like he was one of those role players that you need to win championships. Oh, finally got an update from Tanner. I'm in New York City.
Well, I'm assuming
Tanner
can't come on breaking the ice here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Because he's a little bit far away right now.
Shout out Tanner Price.
Shout out Tanner Price, and shout out the Triple Play.
Yes, sir.
Y'all can go check that show out if you want to. Wednesdays, I believe, from 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 2 to 3.
2 to 3. Yeah.
Cover the NHL, the NFL, and Major League Baseball as well. But moving on, back to our little metropolitan spiel here. 5th place in the Metro, formerly 4th, but the Penguins said move out of the way. The Rangers, and they haven't been having it at all, but so they don't deserve the bing bong. They don't deserve the bing bong. That's the Islanders. They can have that. The Rangers, if we had Alex here, if we had Giftopoulos here, they could give their Rangers spiel. But AJ, what have you seen?
I mean, eventually, when you're just relying on your power play and your goaltending to win you games, and your 5-on-5 is not garbage, but not good enough, eventually you're going to see results, or should I say, lack thereof results. That's the big thing with the Rangers. If they can fix their 5-on-5, they're going to be one of the best teams in the league. But if their 5-on-5 keeps playing like this, they're going to stay in the middle of the Metro in that 5th, 6th, 4th range, and they're going to be on the outside looking in and maybe getting a wild card.
Yeah,
But
they've just been 3-4 in these past couple weeks. Like they're not doing anything to help themselves.
Still early. They can
It's
figure it
early, of
out.
course,
they
but
got
now-
talent in their forward core. They got guys like Laffy, Kreider, Mika, Panarin. They could figure it out. They're but they got enough talent in the room to be able to figure out their 5-on-5. But
I see them being another wild card team at this moment. Like the Canes, I feel like they'll catch the Canes. Honestly, like you just look at Carolina Rangers. I just can't stop thinking about that series last year.
oof.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think the Penguins have what it takes. Oh, here's a great play for the Cats, and you believe Kachuk didn't score that. Wow, he was in front of the net by himself. He tries to put a move on the goaltender, but another Canucks save on this Panthers power play that just started. Kachuk, we'll get to you guys in a sec.
Yep.
But the Capitals just coasting along.
Coasting. And speaking of the Capitals, we can give you guys a live update what they got on the Capitals game right now. There's 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first period. The Caps are up 2-0 on the road versus the Seattle Kraken.
Okay, so the Kraken might lose their first game in a while, but hey, who knows? We'll see. The
A lot
Caps,
of hockey left.
a lot of hockey left for sure. But since then, since these past 2 weeks, they've just been coasting. They're 3-3, staying exactly where they were at 6th in the Metro. Ovechkin's just trying to chase down Gordie Howe's goal record for second all-time right now. He's going to get it 100%. But they're just getting old. You know, that Caps team, they got their ring in 2018, but I don't see this group winning again.
I don't either. I don't either. I think they're past their prime. Once they threw that desperation contract out to a Darcy Kemper to try and extend their window, you saw they were just as many chips we have. It's like it's like a poker reference. They're out of position with the smallest stack at the table, jamming out with pocket sixes. Like it's all they got. They don't really have much left, and it's sad to see because you don't want to see a career like Alex Ovechkin's go like that. Which, as a Penguins fan, as much as the Caps and the Penguins have really had a rivalry over my lifetime, you got to respect the great ones when they come. They don't come around often. Ovi has been one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. I hope he catches the Wayne Gretzky record, but
Oh, that's gonna be a tough one. But I mean, it's not impossible.
it's not impossible for a guy like Ovi. But you know what? All good things must come to an end, and the Caps' window of winning Stanley Cups, unfortunately, looks like, or fortunately for me, because I like the Capitals, has came to a close.
I don't like the Caps egos, but I feel like at the bottom now, underneath the Caps in this division, a team that has just done so bad, the Philadelphia Flyers, probably the coldest team in the whole league, I'd say.
Garbage.
I take it back. I said the Blackhawks have lost 6 in a row, but the Flyers started 3-0.
Yep.
And since then, they are 5-15. They lost 10 games in a row, but they're 1-6. They got one win, but they're 1-6 since these past 2 weeks have gone by. Moved down 2 spots in the Metro, down to 7th from 5th. You know, they're one of the biggest movers downwards, and they've just been so cold. They just lost everything they had going for them. They had a really solid start to the season, and it's just tallied off.
The thing with the Flyers, too, is they're bad and they're stuck in no man's land financially wise and their prospect wise. They don't have an elite farm system. They don't have a magnitude of cap to figure with the signed players to figure out their team right away. You hired a coach in John Tortorella, which I'm actually of the mindset that he's not a bad coach.
I had a lot of Panthers fans saying they don't like Torts because
I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's great. Like, I don't think he's a top 10 coach in the league, but I don't think he's as bad as what Blue Jackets fans would have advertised.
Yeah, because Duclair came from Columbus and he was like, no.
I don't think he's that bad. But when you hire Torts, it's a win now coach. You're not hiring Torts to go through a rebuild. And the big question I have for the Flyers is,
that's not
what's
the
your
case.
plan moving forward? What you have Cutter Guthrie, who's absolutely tearing it up at Michigan right now, but he looks like he's a few years away from reaching the NHL and being a productive, being a first line player. But other than that, like, do you really you have Carter Hart, who's a good young goaltender. But other than that, is there really much on this roster that you can really hang your hat on and be like, oh, this is somebody that we can build around?
Exactly.
Nobody.
Exactly. So they're going to stay in no man's land
For a while.
I think they're hitting the bottom of the division. I think they're hitting the bottom of the division. Because in the bottom right now, Johnny Hockey's very own Columbus Blue Jackets are still in the basement of the Metro. But listen, they're 2-4 in these past 2 weeks. But you got to give credit to at least Boone Jenner, right?
Yep.
He's been playing great for them. That's probably why they have 2 wins, because he's been scoring, 4 goals. Like, he's been the offense for them. Yeah, Philly's going to keep falling. The Blue Jackets will make it to 7th, but they just look bad as a whole.
I don't really got much to say about them. It's pretty much Johnny Hockey with Boone Jenner and just guys.
Yeah, like
guys. Like they're just a bunch of guys. Like that's really it. They got no future. They got no. They thought they had a present, but obviously not. That's why they went all in on a guy like Johnny Hockey just to have 16 points through 21 games, which is an embarrassment to say the least. I think with the top line with Johnny Hockey are not going to be 8th in the Metro. I think they're going to end up being better than a team like Philly, but how much is that really a big celebration? How much can we really hang our hat on that? It's rough for the Blue Jackets. They're going to be like this for a while.
I see what you're saying.
Brutal.
Now, one more thing. While we're in the Metro here, Ovechkin a couple days ago passed Wayne Gretzky for the most road goals in NHL history. Not goals, but goals on the road.
Shout out Ovi, congrats.
Shout out Ovi for that one. And what the other thing I noticed, the Ryan Reeves trade has happened.
That has happened. Ryan Reeves, if you've been living under a rock, has been traded from the New York Rangers to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for a 5th-round draft pick. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, if we had Alex in here, he could have given us a better, his own opinion.
The day we need him.
What'd you say?
The day we need him.
Yeah, man. The day we need Alex or John, they got stuff to do. Shame on them for having things to do.
Shame on them for being in a press box at the Devils game.
Yeah, that's why you guys don't get the bing bong. This is for the Islanders one more time.
Bing bong.
Because this is their state at the moment. But, this Wild team trying to make something happen, because they're what? They're 4th in the Central. They got to try something. And with the way St. Louis can move and the way the top of the division looks, they need to do something. And that's just a bare minimum move for them.
I mean, bare minimum's putting in lightly.
Well, what are your thoughts here?
If we're being real, I don't think we really got much else. I don't think we really have much else to say that. It's bare minimum to say the least. Figure it out. Figure it out. It's the simplest way I can put it. Call a spade a spade.
Call a spade a spade. But the Rangers part ways with their man there, and that's they're 3-4. They're also trying things, but who knows what kind of year it was for them. Like last year, they went to the conference finals, and now they're doing a little bit of a struggle moment here. But
the hot take in 2 years, Kirill Kaprizov is not a member of the Minnesota Wild.
Kaprizov is not a Wild. That's totally possible.
Have they done anything over the last 3 years of his career that you could say legitimately has helped him to become a better hockey player?
Nah, because they lost in the first round last year, so definitely
in terms of roster building.
Nah, they're about to go into.
Yeah, when are they?
They're about to have real cap trouble now.
Yeah, when are they ever gonna put when are they ever gonna put another quality star on his line?
Yeah, they're going into real problems now.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, hey.
He's
Rangers
requesting a trade. I could even see it at the end of the year. He's not staying there. There's no way.
Well, I mean that's there's the Metro report right there, right? There's the Metro report.
Metro report.
Penguins going vertical. One more for them in Letang.
I love how you elongated it too. Don't you just love that? Don't you just love that?
And we got a Panthers goal. Everyone, take a guess. Take a guess who? Take a guess who?
Take a guess. We're gonna go with Matthew Tkachuk.
It absolutely is Matthew Tkachuk. The man is just carrying this Panthers team. So let me break it down for you. We're going to live a play-by-play here. So defensive turnover there. Verhaeghe able to get some stick on it. Montour sends it in. Tkachuk with his backhand. Forehand, backhand. Just that is, honestly, I can't tell if that's on the defense of the Canucks or just the goaltending. There was a screen set. I'd say that's on the defense there, but solid play all around.
30th point this year, right?
Tkachuk?
Yeah.
Well, it's his 11th goal this season, 6 in the last 9 games. He's going crazy. Could be his 30th point. He's carrying his Cats team. We'll get to the Cats right now because it's our time. The Atlantic Division now, the last division on our report here. Let's talk about the team at the top, the Boston Bruins. They look incredible. They are the second best team or the best team in this league. They have only one loss in the past 2 weeks to the Florida Panthers, mind you, which is really weird because that's the Cats' only win in these past 2 weeks, which is it's against the best team in the league, which is crazy to me. And another Panthers goal. This time, I want you to guess again who scored this time. So you were right about this Canucks goaltending. It just fell apart in 2 minutes.
Thatcher Demko literally has a .86 save percentage this year, and I think he has a 3 something goals against.
Oh, man.
Really bad.
I'll just be real. Gustav Forsling just shot this one between everyone's legs. Reinhardt gives him a pass. Forsling just puts it 5-hole. It's not even Demko. It is Demko, my bad.
A chance to get. I wasn't going to guess Forsling anyway.
Absolutely
not.
not.
Ekblad or something.
Yeah, Forsling just puts this one right through Demko. And 2-0 lead, Cats. Let's go. Okay, back to the report here.
Back to the report in the fandom.
The Bruins are 5-1 in these past 2 weeks, 19-3. They're taking this division.
I mean, the Bruins are the definition of an all-in team. What's out this year? This is probably the last year of Patrice.
Bergeron?
Yeah, Bergeron. It's late. It's late at night. It's like we're butchering it. Last spit. This is the last year for a guy like David Krejci. They want to try and go for it this year. They want to send these guys out on top. They made a big move this offseason in letting go of Bruce Cassidy, which was a pretty questionable decision at the time, but it looks like it's worked out. But there looks like the new voice in the building's really working out. I wouldn't be shocked to see a team like Boston, even though you could even make an argument that they are having, even though the Devils have more points than them, that they are having a better year because they have 2 less games played than them and they're 1 less point behind. So you can either say that they have been playing better, but I wouldn't be shocked if you see this team just go for it at the deadline. It's going to be hard with the Cat, but if they are truly serious about a team, about this being their last real shot of going for a cup, just picture this: Patty Kane to Boston. If they can make the money work, picture it.
Absolutely can picture it.
Picture it. How would that fit?
That's
put him and Pasta on the same line.
Dude, Pasta's gone crazy so far.
Put him and Pasta on the same line and see what happens.
Now, one more thing. We have a third Panthers goal!
You are really abusing.
Thatcher Demko also got hurt on the play.
He's horrible.
So I want you to take a guess who scored this time. I'll give it fully to you.
Let's go with my Penguin. Let's go with Patty Hornquist.
He was in on the play. It's his line, but he didn't score.
Dang.
So first Eric Stahl takes a shot. Hornquist then takes a shot, which is actually saved. Somehow Demko gets hurt there, and Ryan Lomberg, the Lamborghini, comes in and just puts it into the back of the net. 3 goals in 4 minutes, I'd say.
If we're doing live updates of the Panthers game, I'll just hit you guys with a live update on all the other games going on right now. The Stars are currently up 5-0 at home on the Ducks with 8 minutes left to go in the third. The Canadiens and Flames are deadlocked at 1 at the end of the second period.
All right.
Capitals and Kraken, end of the first period, still 2-0. Like we just said, Cats and Canucks, 3-0. My boy over there loves it.
Spencer Martin, is that their backup goalie?
Yeah.
He's in the game now, yeah.
Spencer Knight?
No, for the Canucks. What's his name?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Spencer Martin, right?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, you confused me. And then Coyotes and Kings, playing in LA, 0-0, 12 minutes left to go in the first. That game has just gone underway.
All right. Thank you so much there for the little recap there. Now, Boston's got the top of the division, and they're still hot. They're going to take it. Second in the Atlantic, but they're not going to be there for long. The Toronto Maple Leafs, who have won the most games in the past 2 weeks. They were 7-2 in these past 2 weeks. Nylander's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Nylander's on fire, but this Leafs team, they just don't scare me because
You know what's going to happen at the end of the year once they hit the playoffs.
They're playing the Lightning like first round, and they're gone.
Their schedule coming up is kind of like brutal too.
Like they're 15-10.
Their next couple games, they're at Tampa Bay with a nice little matchup of that playoff series. That should be a fun game to watch on Saturday. Then they go to Dallas. Then they come home to play the Kings, which the Kings could skate with you. Like we said, their goaltending is kind of trash, but they can skate with you to give you a game. Then they got Calgary. Then they got Anaheim, which Anaheim's garbage. We'll get to garbage.
Oh yeah, they're 1-6, and they're 6-17 overall in the year. They have the least amount of wins out of any team in the league.
And then they got to go to the Garden and go play the Rangers.
All right.
The next 6 games, brutal.
So honestly, like they've been holding down the second spot, but they're not catching Boston, man. Boston has only 3 losses on the year.
No,
they're the best. They got the best record in the league. They look crazy good. Toronto, Nylander will make news. Matthews will heat up, but like, I'll give Nylander his flowers right now.
Yep.
5 points, 4 goals and an assist, and he was scoring a goal and 2/3 in each game of 50% shot percentage. That's incredible. But, the Leafs team, they'll make moves. They'll make the playoffs again. Probably top 3 in the Atlantic. But we know what's happening. We know what comes.
The thing with the Leafs, though, that's really, really intriguing to me that they haven't had in past years. They've been really good this year at protecting leads. In the third, and you see it with a guy like Mitch Marner. He's not scoring as much as he should be scoring. Only 8 goals in 25 games. Even Austin Matthews isn't lighting up isn't lighting the lamp as much. But the Leafs, the Leafs, they get a goal. They get a couple goal lead early with the first second period, and then they just shut it down in the third period. Their defense has been absolutely unbelievable. Can it keep up? We know the answer to that. Probably not. But just want to shout it out real quick.
I'm just still thinking of Kane to the Bruins.
That'd be unreal, right?
Here's one for that, actually. If the Bruins are able to make that happen with where they are...
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
It is all coming together.
It will. Now, this is just a strictly play around with the sound effects thing, because I don't know what these two are right here.
Test them.
So we're going to find out what this is.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
That's a SpongeBob one, apparently. But I don't know how that would not tie into our show at all.
No.
What's this one here?
It's a good way to introduce the...
That's a great one.
I would say the team that has been in the Cup final in the last 3 years. Let's go. The team that just lost the Cup final last year, but we're the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, the Tampa Bay Lightning. What are your thoughts?
Well, they're 13-9 overall, 4-2, moved into a playoff spot. They moved into third in the Atlantic, and Andrei Vasilevskiy. Let me tell you, I have never wanted a goalie to play for my team more than Andrei Vasilevskiy. He might not be the best in the regular season. Come playoff time, he's no-brainer the best in the playoffs. So I'll take that any day, and he's been incredible. Had a 2-game stretch of saving 96% of his shots.
It's unheard of.
Like, Vasilevskiy and Hedman is the best 1-2 punch on a defense.
Facts.
Like, that's why this team is this team. That's why this Lightning team is a dynasty.
Yes.
They're a dynasty, plain and simple. They almost three-peated. Thank you, Colorado. Thank you so much.
They're a team that once they get to the third period, they'll shut it down on defense. They're the most well-coached team in the league, and they're very opportunistic on offense with a guy like Nikita Kucherov, who will sit on the circle on the power play and just rip shots. A guy like Steven Stamkos on the one-timer, which shout out Steven Stamkos for getting his 1,000th career point tonight. Absolutely, an absolutely unbelievable career, future Hall of Famer. Gotta shout him out because they do not come around often. Vasilevskiy, and the story of him becoming his own is crazy. You had Ben Bishop there, who was, when he was playing with Tampa, he was actually one of the better goaltenders in the league. Gets hurt, Vasilevskiy comes in. Actually, this actually even happened in 2016 in the conference final when they were playing none other than the Pittsburgh Penguins, and almost won them that series. Without Stamkos in that series, he brought them to 7 games. as a young goaltender against what's on Prime Sid, Prime Gino, Phil Kessel, what's on the third line of that team. That was the team with the line with Sid and the kids, who was the best line in hockey that year, with rookie Gensel, with that second year Connor Sheary. Like with that series really put him into his zone, and what did he do after that? Win back-to-back cups. Go to a third one.
Yeah. Just for everyone listening, you are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. That is 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Here, the voice of Montclair State. So, I feel like Boston, Toronto, Tampa would be the top 3 in the Atlantic come the end of the season.
Yeah,
like, they just look great. 4th in the Atlantic right now, trying to knock on a wildcard spot. The Detroit Red Wings, actually. They're 4-2 in these past couple weeks. Making a splash. They've moved up from 5th to 4th in the Atlantic. But, and Detroit, they're a solid team. They've made play after play, but they're just kind of meddling along right now. Lucas Raymond's a stud. Mo Seider is a stud. But the reason they're really there, the reason Tampa's really up there and Detroit's really in 4th is because of the team in 5th. The biggest loser of the Atlantic Division, my very own Florida Panthers. This is for y'all in these past 2 weeks.
Give him a rant. Give him a rant.
It's coming right now. So, Matthew Tkachuk, this doesn't apply to you. He's been unstoppable. He quite literally had 8 points in, I want to say, 4 games. He had 3 goals and 5 assists in 4 games. And he was incredible just a couple weeks ago. This does not apply to you. You are incredible, Tkachuk. And you scored in this game. Y'all are playing great right now, though. 3-0 lead on this Canucks team. So at least you can maybe get a win and get something going. Looking like the old Cats team. Looking like the Cats team of last year right now. I'm loving it. But y'all got to keep it up. 1-6 in the past 2 weeks with an ugly loss. An ugly loss to the Blues where they just choked it away. They just straight up choked it away. And then they repeated the next game right after that, doing the exact same thing to the Oilers. Just choked it away. And then after that, tough, gruesome loss to the Flames. They lost to the Blue Jackets. They gave Columbus a win. And they lost to the Flames before that and Dallas before that. It's been terrible. Get Tkachuk some help. Paul Maurice, I don't know what's going on, man. All the fans seem to hate him. Give us Bruno back. We need Barkov back on the ice. We need better defense. They need better defense. Trading away Uyghur has its repercussions now. At least you could replace Huberdeau with Tkachuk. But Duclair is hurt. They lost Mason Marchment. The defense is battered with no Uyghur. It's rough. But they're up 3-0 right now. I'll give them that credit. But man, biggest loser in the Atlantic, 1-6. They're 5th. I see them making a wild card at best. At best. In the East.
I agree with that.
Like, I don't see them. They're not taking any of those spots away.
No,
They're not taking Boston spot. They're taking Toronto spot, Tampa.
I think if you hit that nail on the couch.
But as far as
your Preds with your little Cats expertise.
Yeah.
Love it.
But with the rest of the Atlantic Division right now,
Those are fun little teams to talk about.
Yeah. The rest of the Atlantic Division, the Montreal Canadiens, they're just coasting.
They're a fun little team, point per game.
Both them and
talent.
the Buffalo Sabres just coasting. 3-3 in these past 2 weeks, 11-11 for Montreal, 10-13 for Buffalo. They're not making nothing happen. Like, they're just kind of sitting there. Jeff Skinner, though, I'll give him his flowers. For Buffalo, he had an incredible pace through 3 games. Through 3 games, I believe he had 4 goals and 3 assists. So, that's what we love to see here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. 3 games, you have 4 goals and 3 assists, and he's the reason they won probably, he was like incredible. So, shout out Skinner, but your team isn't playing great. Last but not least, the last team we're going to hit tonight before we wrap it up here, the Ottawa Senators. just 2-4. They have 8 wins and 14 losses. They're in the bottom of the A, which is what I love to call the Atlantic. And not only that, but they also failed to sign Alex Formenton, so he's no longer eligible to play this season because he was a restricted free agent. Like, come on. What are you guys doing? A restricted free agent, and there's a deadline. If you don't sign any RFAs by December 1st, they cannot play for the rest of the year. Or AHL games either.
Yeah, brutal.
So
he's not going to be playing hockey.
No, he's not in the NHL, where he's not.
Not
so.
in the NHL, not in the AHL. I expected so much more from I didn't expect Ottawa to be playoff team nonetheless, but I expected so much more from them. There's what they got, especially trading away a top 10 pick for a guy like Alex DeBrincat. This is supposed to be the year for like Brady Tkachuk to really take over and be like, hey, I can be the face of a franchise. I can be the leader of the franchise. I'm wearing the C for a reason. You bring a guy in like Claude Giroux to help mentor all these young guys. We were hyping up their top 6 like it was one of the better young top 6s in hockey. What have we got? 17 points to show for it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man.
Ugh.
Wrap up.
I just want Ottawa to be one of those fun teams to watch, like a Buffalo or something, because we didn't expect them to be like an elite team, but at least Buffalo's a team that you can watch every night, and it's like, you know what? We see a bunch of signs for the future. A guy like Tage, Rasmus Dahlin, Owen Power, but with Ottawa, you're not really seeing that, so it's sad. It's sad to see for the fans because Ottawa Senators fans are great.
A couple more things out there before we wrap it up here. Yesterday or a couple days ago, Zach Hayes got traded from the Golden Knights to the Canes, as well as I believe it was earlier this week or last week. Borje Salming passed away at the age of 71 from ALS. So rest in peace to him. They just had his a little tribute for him in Toronto. But AJ, thank you for coming on here with me. I know it's late hours in the middle of the night, driving an hour to get here.
Night Owl. Let's get it.
Night Owl. Thank you, everyone. This is the second episode of Breaking the Ice. I'm Connor Cupen alongside AJ Chasan. We'll be back next week for more hockey content. Stay tuned, and you are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Have a good night, everyone.